My friends, the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. You have faith in God, have faith also in me. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If there were not, would I have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to myself, so that where I am, you also may be. Where I am going, you know the way." Thomas said to him, "Master, we do not know where you are going. How can we know the way?" Jesus said to him, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you know me, then you will also know my Father. From now on, you do know him and have seen him." Philip said to him, "Master, show us the Father, and that will be enough for us." Jesus said to him, "Have I been with you for so long a time, and you still do not know me, Philip? Whoever has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, 'Show us the Father'? Do you not believe that I am in the Father, and the Father is in me? The words that I speak to you, I do not speak on my own. The Father who dwells in me is doing his works. Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father is in me, or else believe because of the works themselves. Amen, amen, I say to you, whoever believes in me will do the works that I do, and will do greater ones than these, because I am going to the Father." The Gospel of the Lord. So when I look back on my life, I have lived in some rather interesting arrangements. My childhood bedroom was an attic where you had to be real attentive when you woke up in the morning or you would bang your head on the slanted roof. My teenage bedroom was still decorated with fire trucks and airplanes from the previous owner, a makeover that I was always promised would occur, but conveniently happened after I moved out of the house. There was a college dorm, complete with a ball pit that we constructed out of the couches in our lounge, and my room in the novitiate that happened to be the warmest room in the house, so I was tasked with babysitting the vat of brewing beer, even though I don't drink beer. There was the room in DC that had a warped bookshelf that fell on top of me, covering me in all my books, an irony that the oblates spent years laughing about, despite my pleas for assistance in the moment. And then there's my current room, that at one point had water pouring in through the walls, resulting in half of my room being wrapped in plastic sheeting, a mix of a construction scene and murder scene all tied into one. Yep, every one of my dwelling places has been memorable, to say the least. And yet, I still remember moving in to so many of them. All the endless possibilities that seemed to exist in those empty rooms. I remember unpacking the books and arranging them topically by shelf. Yes, I am that OCD. I remember hanging up the photos, displaying the knickknacks just so, and fluffing out the bedspread. I remember collapsing up all the boxes and sticking them under the bed, trusting that I would need them soon, since I always seem to have another move on the horizon. And these moves always occurred under the watchful eyes of my parents, long-seasoned veterans to moving me in and out of all these different living situations. I would be unpacking one box as Dad was carrying up another. I would be arranging one corner of the room and my mom would be doing the other, fully cognizant of exactly what it should look like when it was done. It was like a team project where all of us knew what we wanted and when it would finally feel like home. I thought about that process a lot as I reflected on the gospel for this weekend. See, I've always loved this gospel. I guess because it's often brought me a lot of comfort in moments when I was faced with the loss of someone I cared about. For the idea of them finding a way into a home prepared for them is a balm to my wounded soul. But for some reason, I realized this year that I have been limiting the scope of this gospel in my own life. Because I do not believe that the promise Christ makes is simply about the afterlife. I've become convinced that it is just as much a present moment invitation. An invitation by Christ to step into the new places that are constantly being prepared for us. Whether it is our current situation as a nation trying to step into a world in the midst of a pandemic, navigating the uncertainties of what our normal routines look like in an abnormal world. Or it could be all of the constant moments of transition and change that define our human experience. Graduating and moving on to the next step in our educational career, moving out of the house, moving back into the house, picking up the new keys to the apartment, retiring, switching jobs, jumping into a new career, building your dream home, and selling your childhood home. Going on that first date, breaking up, coming out, saying I do, finalizing the divorce papers, cradling the newborn, saying yes to the adoption, getting the diagnosis, standing by the graveside. Each and every one of those moments are the places and spaces in which we receive the promise this night that our God is there, right beside us, gently preparing these new places for us, wiping clean the dust of accumulated regrets and fears, opening the windows to let the light shine gently on our anxieties and our griefs, unpacking the moments and the memories that define us, that make us laugh and smile and cry, hanging up our hopes and our dreams for all to see, until we too can stand beside our God, look around our new room, and realize that we're home once again. May God be praised.